Speak to Afnod. Coming to terms. An influential Ishgardian wishes to meet the Warrior of Light, and Alfred would like nothing more than to oblige him. We have been blessed with the rare opportunity of it, an audience with an ambassador of the Holy See of Ishgard. We are in to treat with Sir Emmerich, Lord of the Commander of the Temple Knights in Camp Dragonhead. It is considered a great honor to serve the Holy See directly as a Temple Knight. Needless to say, the leader wields tremendous political influence. We would be wise to court his favor. For that reason, I consider this tenant essential. If Sir Emmy wishes to meet the woman behind the legend, I will not deny him the pleasure of your company. The Ensignian should see that the wisdom of this plan, and when you request her permission to accompany me to Corypheus. Maybe you feel this is a waste of your talents, which could doubtless be put to noble use. If so, I would remind you that more than good can be accomplished with the stroke of a pen than a thrust of a sword. Okay, speak to Nymphelia. A meeting with Ishgar ambassador? By all means, I think it is a wonderful idea. We have received no reports of infringing disturbances or unusual beast tribe activity of late. If Alvin believes your presence may well help him secure more favorable terms, I see no reason to deny him. And said yet, I'll take it Violet has explained the situation? She has yet welcomed though these overtures are, I cannot help but wonder what prompted them. The Ishgardians have spurred all contact with the other city-states for decades, why reach out now? Would that I knew, the question of their motives is one of which I have given no small amount of thought. Alas, I know no more than the generally known. The conclusion nation of Ishgard is situated in the center of things spine, ruled by the Ishgard Orthodox Church, and the head of which presides the Archbishop. Members of the original Russian alliance formed in the wake of Alamigo for some 2 decades ago. Friends of convenience who withdrew from the alliance as soon as the Imperial fleet was routed at the Battle of Silver's Tear Skies. Since which time, their borders have remained closed to all outsiders. They rejected every one of their former allies' calls to reopen dialogue, turning deaf ear to their neighbour pleas even when the calamity loomed large. And on the fields of Cartano, where brave men and women laid down their lives in the defence of the realm, their banners were continually absent. I have tried to convince Ishgard to rejoin the alliance at every opportunity. I have explained over and over again that unless Erusia stands united, we cannot hope to preserve our freedom. One by one, our nations will fall, as once fell Alamigo. And what have mine efforts yielded? Why, naught. Sure, this can be considered a step in the right direction. I hope so, rather than the lowly messengers we have been fobbed off within the past. But this time we shall meet with a man of genuine influence. Of course, I'm not so naive to think that they will come to us out of goodness of their hearts. We have something they desire, though I have yet to find out what. But such is the nature of diplomacy, they will bring their agendas to the negotiating table, and so will I, along with a handful incomparable of truths. The Emperor will soon be at our doorstep once more. Indeed, and we may be assured that I will expound upon the point and others. Let us depart for Dragonhead, Violet. Our old friend Lord Hodgefon is expecting us. Since our guest is to recover the Enterprise, I understand you have further incorporated yourself with the man? Excellent word. His sponsor may prove useful in our cause. Okay, let's go to Dragonhead. Oh, wow, ever a welcome sight. Our hearths have been soaked into blazing in preparation for your arrival. It would not do for such a distinguished patronage to catch a cold whilst enjoying our hospitality. The gesture is much appreciated. I fear I should never struggle in cold charms. Ah, good Master Alphanode, an honour as always. Likewise, Lord Hodgson, forgive us yet another imposition. I fear we have relied overmuch on your aid, since you so generously assisted us in locating the Enterprise. Nonsense. Any debts should have long since been repaid. Besides, who can say what the future may bring? The ice programs may seek the aid of your newly formed Crystal Braves. In any case, I simply delighted that the Holy See is at last willing to grant you an audience. No doubt your discoveries of the Stone Cloak helped to justify their decision. This recent resurgence in heretical activity is of great concern to me, that's all. But to the matter at hand, Sir May arrived in Camp Janet earlier, and I am told that he is eager to meet with you at first convenience. Your dad is weary of your journey and delirious of the rest a while by the warmth of your hearth. But if you were willing to forego such comforts, pray inform the knight stationed outside the ancestry, and he will grant you entrance and say the word to the other attendees. I invite you, and inviting her signs, I hear it must best to proceed to the industry forthwith. Okay, let's go. We have been expecting you, madame. Pray take your ease inside, and I shall summon the others.
Have faith, my friend. You need only state your case with confidence and clarity.
Commander Leveilleur, it is both an honor and a pleasure to meet you. I am Emmerich, Lord Commander of the Temple Knights.
Alphinaud Leveilleur, at your service. Your reputation precedes you, Sir Emmerich. I think we will find that we have much in common.
Speaking of reputations, yours towers over us all. Does it not?
It does indeed, Lord Commander.
I am not too proud to admit that I have followed your activities with an interest bordering on fascination. Full glad was I to learn that you would be joining us. Now then, shall we begin?
We know full well that the Garleans will return in force ere long. What is more, we have yet to achieve a lasting victory over the primal menace. The beast tribes continue to summon their gods, and each incarnation is stronger than the last. Ishgard is not immune to these threats. I must reiterate that it would behoove your nation to rejoin the Eorzean Alliance.
Once again, I must respectfully disagree.
On what grounds?
Despite their presence in Kurthus, the Ixal do not concern us. Their territorial claims pertain to Gridanian lands, and it is the people of Gridania whom they harry. Consequently, the Holy See judges this to be a Gridanian affair, and Ishgard does not intervene in the internal affairs of other nations. Even were that not the case, our forces are wholly committed to the Dravanian conflict. We have not the knights to spare. As for the Garleans, we are not ignorant of history. We have observed the rise and expansion of the Empire, and we agree that it is only a matter of time before they resume their campaign in Eorzea.
Then surely it would be in our best interests to present a united front.
Mayhap one day, but not yet. Gaius van Belsar is dead, and the legion of conscripts he left behind lacks the will to fight. We think it highly unlikely that they will emerge from behind the walls of their castra for some time.
Forgive me, but if Ishgard's position has not changed, why did you agree to this meeting?
It was not only as a representative of Ishgard that I came here.
Pardon?
It is not within my power to change Ishgardian policy, regardless of my personal feelings. There is, however, one area in which I may exert a measure of influence. Concerns have been raised over the supplies House Fortin has offered to Revenant's Toll. These have led to calls for restrictions on the provision of aid to foreign powers. I can ensure that the shipments continue unabated.
Sir Emmerich, we would be in your debt.
No, you would not, for I require something in exchange. Of late, there has been a flurry of Dravanian activity, the purpose of which was not immediately clear. However, our astrologians have since observed alarming changes in the heavens. The dragon star waxes unnaturally bright, and there are whispers that it portends the resurrection of Midgard-Sorma.
The fallen guardian of Silvertear Falls? That's absurd.
Full many times have I gazed upon the dragon's corpse still wound around the Agrius, and wondered how different our world might be if it yet lived to plague the skies. I do not know, and I do not wish to know, nor does any son of Ishgard. Yet the mere presence of Dravanian forces is not sufficient grounds to send knights to Mordona, whatever our astrologians say. As I told you before, we have not the forces to spare.
But we do. So you will intervene on our behalf if we agree to watch over the Keeper of the Lake.
Do you accept these terms?
I do. I will see that you are kept abreast of any developments. I regret that we could not come to a similar agreement on other matters, but I understand that you are not at liberty to make such decisions. Nevertheless, I hope that what we have accomplished here today will serve to demonstrate to your countrymen that we can work together towards a common goal. Mayhap one day we shall look back on this moment as the first step towards a united Eorzea.
Mayhap we shall, Commander.
What is the meaning of this?
The caravan, my lord. It's been attacked. It was Iceheart, my lord.
What? By the Fury? All our precautions were for naught?
Okay. Let's speak with Alphanode. The Intercessions of the Saints. Recent developments have given Alphanode much to consider. Just when we were starting to make progress, and to make matters worse, the caravan they spoke of was bound for Revenant's Toll, of all places. And say, were I so inclined? I should think the gods were conspiring against us. Happily, however, I am not. I would have no more of this attack. Let us speak with Lord Hodgefont and find out what he has learned. Okay? My sincere apologies for the interruption, my friends, but the situation is such that we might act swiftly. If I were to be so kind to elaborate. If you would be so kind to elaborate. Isor's heretics fell upon the caravan bound for Revenant's Toll as it was passing through Borders Downs. It was an ambush, swift and ruthless. In an instant, every knight was slain, every crate seized. Then, as quickly as they appeared, they were gone. It would be an impossible feat without knowledge of the route, knowledge to which only a select few are privy, I presume. Quite. We are to pursue the avenue of inquiry in due course. It seems to me that examining the scene of the ambush could be our first concern. The trail is yet warm. We might act swiftly. As Lord French said, less crucial evidence is be lost. You have a knack for discerning hidden truths, Valen. Why don't you go and inspect the ambush site in person? Next night, Adair. Inform my men of your intent upon arrival, and they will gladly share their findings. Okay, let's go. Move along, adventurer. There is nothing for... Ah, Lord Watchman bid you speak with us? They must be. Beg your pardon, Simon. As you can see, they left nearly a crate behind. Tipped the wagon for good measure even. The whole thing is a bit odd, if you ask me. Would be easier to just steal it, though a damn sight harder to conceal it, I'll allow. Reckon that they came prepared properly with wagons of their own, hidden a way off. Ah, but pray no heed of my ramblings. Absent of proof, 'twas naught but speculation. Might be a squirrel receiving care of the observation. Could you tell you something more fruitful? That is, if he's awake. Unlike myself, I was there during the attack, not that his presence amounted to much. Let's go speak with the survivor. You've come to ask about the attack, haven't you? We came upon them before the entrance of the Hall of the Seven Echoes. Pilgrims. We marked them as lost and ill-equipped for the journey further north. Our leader called out to them, and one stepped forward to answer. Slowly she approached, her silver hair flowing in the wind like molten snow. Just a young girl, I thought. Some poor lost lamb in search of salvation. Our leader must have thought the same, else why would he let her draw so close? They exchanged some words I could hear, and she leaned forward as if to kiss his cheek, and then he sighed and crumbled to the ground. I did not know what had happened till I saw the snow turned red, and then there was a red everywhere I looked. I tried to fight, but took a blow to the head. And by the time I come to, the others were dead, and the heretics were uploading the wagon. I mean, they have killed me. They had killed me, so I just lay still and listened. Such people spoke of deliverance and resurrection, and they spoke of Shiva. Has you returned? What news have you for us? It seems like Lady Isar does not scruple to sully her hands with blood. Who is this Shiva the heretic spoke of? Have you not read the single line of the John, Master Elfnode? Shiva was a traitor to kith and kin, an apostate who laid down with the dragons. Now, we cannot expect all foreigners to know Ishgarding scripture so well, particularly when it concerns the patron saints of heretics. Well, you say she is their patron saint. Oh no, it all makes sense now. Rushman, what was the caravan's cargo? If I recall correctly, the Diamond Forge was requested a rather large quantity of crystals. Do you not see? Isard and her fellows intended to summon Shiva as a Beast tribe would have summoned a primal. Why else would they go to such lengths to secure crystals? I should inform the Lord Commander at once. Lord Hochefort, you would agree that discretion is of paramount concern? Of course. I trust that we can count on your continued support, Master Alphinaud. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to combat the primal threat. Our support is a given. I will need to send word to my brethren at Reverend's Toll. Our entire order must turn its efforts to the prevention of this summoning. Naturally, that includes you, though I am sure you will not miss this for the world. Speak to Alphinaud. Strength in unity. Woe betides the heretic who crossed Alphinaud's Leveneer, for they shall feel the full force of his fury. Persistent attacks on the caravan seemed little more than a nuisance at first. The heretics were a problem, to be sure, but a relatively minor one. That was before I could discern that purpose behind their attacks. Of course, now they have my undivided attention. After appraising mostly of the situation, I shall summon a unit of Crystal Braves to assist us. As for you, Violet, pray join me in Whitebrim Front. Since the incident of Stonecloak, the Knights of the House of Durner have redoubled their reconnaissance efforts in the region. It is my hope that they have information that might help determine precisely where the heretics are hiding. Given the mutual enemy, Lord Dunmore would be eager to oblige us. I shall see you there, then. Good. Off to Whitebrim Front. Signs of the Seventh Dawn wish to join in the hunt for Isard? Your assistance is more than welcome, my friends. Consider the report I just received. I dare say your timing could be no better. We are all ears, Lord Dinnermont. A band of pilgrims was seen transporting a large number of crates to the west. Their garb appears to be matched the description provided by the squire who survived the attack. Alas, our scouts lost track of them in Stonecloak, the self-same frozen wall which we speculated might conceal the heretics' hideaway. Suffice to say, the disappearance of these pilgrims and their prevention all but confirms our suspicions. I have heard enough. My knights will join the hunt. I took the liberty of summoning the unit of Crystal Braves to Whitebrim Front. Given the gravity of the situation, I trust you agree that we must use every resource available to us. These are extraordinary circumstances, Commander. It would be in your best interest to coordinate our efforts. Such was my intent from the start, Sir Almec. And so it begins, my friend. Though I dare say it will prove to be all too brief cooperation, I will not elude the combined force of the Crystal Braves and the Temple Knights for long. Nevertheless, a wise man does not augur all upon the success of a single solution. There may yet be a stronger means by which we can locate the heretic's lair. Mayhap Lord Dinmore has one in mind. Yes, yes, excellent. My lady, everything has been accounted for. If there is naught else you would have us do, pray speak, and it shall be done.